Hi everyone, in week 7, we learned cybercrime. According to the report, 99% of cyber attacks use social engineering techniques. So today, our presentation will focus on that. This is the table of contents of our presentation. Firstly, I will introduce the classification and definition. Social engineering attacks can be classified into two categories, human-based or computer-based attacks. Our presentation will focus on the computer-based attacks and explain the following four types. Their goal is to manipulate individuals to give attackers access to a system or confidential information. The most common form of social engineering attacks is phishing. For example, the attack can be a call or email from a fake department of lottery about winning a prize and requesting private information such as name, age, and credit card details, or clicking on the link attached to the emails to fill in the information. Water holding attack means that attackers try to compromise a specific group of people by infecting one or more websites they are known to visit. Victims usually come from the same organization, and the goal is to access the computer network of the organization by infecting one or more users' computers with malware. Bait attacks invite users to click on links to get free things. For example, one victim finds a USB drive in the coffee shop and insert it into their computer. The drive attacks the computer like a Trojan horse in the real world. This attack performs malicious operations in the background without being noticed by the victim. Pretexting attacks consist of inventing fake and convincing scenarios in order to steal a victim's personal information. They are based on pretexts that make the victim believe and trust the attacker. For example, the pretext may be an offer to perform a service or to get a job. Next, Jiajing will use data to analyze the situation of attacks.
Hi guys, I'm Suki. I will going to present some data statistic chat to bring a deep impression about how much internet users have experienced any cybercrime by the end of 2019. In 2019, the number of the cybercrime case over 31,000 cases worldwide. According to the chat, 80% of the India respondents claimed to having experienced the cybercrime. US online users were in the second place, as 61% of the US respondents state that they have been victimized online. We have also made some research from the perspective of the country. Firstly, focus on the US data. This chart shows the type of the cybercrime attack most commonly experienced by the company in the United States in 2019. Phishing accounting for 38% of the data security incidents of the US companies. Italy is no exception to the attacks. The number of the online phishing attacks represent the most different use type of the cyber attack in the 2019, with a total number of over 3.4 thousand cases. Summarizing the chat scan proliferation of the cybercrime, however, the server data still has some limitations. For example, the Italian data only cover the reported data. There should be some small cases that have not been reported. Therefore, we need to further analyze the causes of the attacks and take some precautions.
Thanks, Suki. I'm Johnny. Now you already know the severity of the social engineering attack, but why social engineering attack will happen? We need to know that actually many social engineering attacks exploit human psychology. They acquire the sensitive information through means of trust rather than hacking someone's accounts. Because humans have a natural tendency to trust each other, which make it easier for social engineering attacker to check the personal sensitive information. In addition, some unexpected scenario will also contribute to this attack. For example, under the COVID-19, the attackers will take advantage of people's emotional destabilization, such as send you a government aid email, but actually that email is a social engineering attack. So we need to pay attention to the impact of the unexpected scenario. Finally, The improvement in security algorithm also indirectly made social engineering attack happen, because comparing with other type of cyber attack, cyber criminals don't have to master high-level computer skills in social engineering attack. That's why the improvement of security algorithm will somehow force the attacker to find an easier way to conduct the criminal behavior. So that's the reasons of social engineering attack happen. Cora and Zua will share more detail about how to prevent it.
Sure, and I will give some recommendations on how to defend against the social engineering attacks and mitigate the impact of the attacks. I will introduce the recommendation from the aspect of improving people's psychological awareness of social engineering attacks. According to the different social attributes of government agencies, companies, and individuals, there are some recommendations given. For government agencies, the first responsibility they need to assume is to let more residents understand the negative impact of social engineering attacks on people, and use their social attributes to join the community to publicize to residents how to effectively avoid cyber fraud attacks. In addition, government agencies need to curb related cyber attacks from the source. For example, strengthen the crackdown on information security criminals by upgrading the tracking capability of information security criminals, promulgate relevant laws and regulations, and increase penalty for cyber attack criminals to bring deterrence to them. For companies, it's necessary to develop the security policies and the procedures. The company management have to formulate information security rules for business process and ensure that every employee can comply with this requirement. Besides, the companies need to inculcate staff awareness on information security. The measurements include periodically sending simulated phishing emails to employees for training, and periodically organize information security knowledge examinations for employees. And there are 10 tips for every single individual to remember so that they are easier to avoid suffering from social engineering attacks. The main things that need your attention are you have to think carefully and research the source before you click any links. You should know email spoofing exists everywhere and nothing is free in the world. Offers and prices are fake, and nobody should be contacting you for your personal information via email unsolicitedly.
Beyond improving psychological awareness to prevent humans from being attacked, there are directed techniques for both individuals and companies to distinguish or block the attacks. Almost all kinds of techniques are used to clearly find the potential attacks out of other legitimate information and subsequently block them in order to secure a web environment. Biometrics or sensor-based techniques aim at distinguishing real persons from fake profiles through their biological traits or sensor-based signals. Similarly, AI-based techniques like machine learning algorithms can analyze the potential characteristics to the phishing attacks in order to derive a number of features used by the attacker. Generally, computer users will use social honeypots, which is a direct security mechanism to identify and ban malicious email addresses, such as the Microsoft phishing filter and the WebSense. Finally, companies could develop comprehensive strategies to monitor their networks in order to prevent potential attacks, like an anti-social engineering attacks framework capable of identifying critical assets with corresponding attacks by risk analysis, so that it can be useful to evaluate the company's information for the next step. In conclusion, our group talked about the social engineering attacks categories, the severe impacts around the world, and the cause of utilizing human psychological vulnerability. Also, we provided a number of prevention and mitigation methods, like educate individuals to be alert, strengthen the relevant policies, and use techniques to directly block the attacks. That's all for our presentation. Thank you.